coming up on Retirement Solutions Television.
All things get better with age, right? We believe that for all of you out there, the best is yet to come. And that's why we're so passionate about delivering this message to you, is because we want to help you understand that your time, knowledge, expertise, and experience that you've built over the last 30 or 40 years, use that knowledge. And instead of living retirement in fear, be able to build your secure and independent retirement. That's why we exist at Boss Retirement Solutions.
You know, Ryan, over the years we've done a lot of things together, but our first real business venture was in elementary school, where we went down to the Cottonwood Spa and we bought atomic fireballs for 5 cents, and we turned around and sold them for 10 cents on the playground. But it was kind of fun, right? It was.
When you look at friends or family that they give free advice, I would be very careful and cautious about friends and family members who are not constantly working in this area of expertise.
And now your hosts of Retirement Solutions Television, the Retirement Brothers, Tyson and Ryan Thacker.
Hi, and welcome to Retirement Solutions Television. My name is Ryan Thacker, along with my brother Tyson Thacker. We are the Retirement Brothers.
We've got a great show for you today, and it starts right here, right now.
Recently, we had a great couple that came in. We had a chance to sit down with them and create a Boss Retirement Blueprint that was customized to their own needs. One of the things that was interesting about this case is we're able to look at their scenario and find some major challenges in their income bucket, in their inflation bucket, and also in their growth bucket in their plan. You know, as we had the discussion about their individual situation and look at that, and we talk about the challenges, one of the challenges that families have is they have a hard time owning up to their own challenges that they face during retirement. In fact, it could be something that they had heard from a previous advisor that wasn't a scenario that they were familiar with. And so anything that's new can also be a little bit scary when you hear about it the first time. As we talked about some of the things in the income bucket, one of the recommendations that we made was that they use an annuity because they were very conscious of taking any risk, didn't want to lose any money, and they wanted to make sure their income was reliable. Well, as we talked about this annuity, they instantly said, I've only heard bad things about annuities, and there's nothing good that I've heard about annuities. And so they said, you know what, thanks for this information, but I'm going to go and I'm going to ask my nephew, who recently just graduated from a local college, about if this is going to be a good idea. Now, I just want to give you a little bit of caution here. It could be that their nephew does have significant knowledge, but at Boss Retirement Solutions, we pride ourselves in offering the best tools and strategies that are available to you in this market to help you get to and through retirement with confidence. Now, all the recommendations that we don't make those recommendations lightly. In fact, we recognize that there's more ways to handle any single problem that you're going to run into, and we offer those options so that you can choose. In this case, it was very clear cut that the most safe and secure option and the most appropriate and reasonable for this couple would be to use an annuity. That's why we made that recommendation. Now, when you look at friends or family that they give free advice, I would be very careful and cautious about friends and family members who are not constantly working in this area of expertise. It's the same thing as if I were to go to a medical doctor, right? And if I have cancer in my brain and I were to go to the family doctor, he's going to be more like, take 2 of these and call me in the morning. That would be kind of like the advice or general advice that you might receive from a friend or family member on any particular financial subject. But if I have a cancerous tumor in my brain, I want to go to a specialist. I want to go to an oncologist. At Boss Retirement Solutions and the solutions that we offer here on Retirement Solutions Television, we are very much specialized in the income planning arena. And we would invite you to come in, get a second opinion, and also do your research, go out there and find the things that you want to find out, but also understand who you're working with and understand that working with an expert is the way to help you get to and through retirement with confidence.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Remember when life was simpler? When things didn't move quite so fast, and the world didn't seem so complex? Remember that? We do. And as the world around us has continued to speed up, becoming more complicated, and still a bit uncertain, we have managed to keep things simple, providing sound, easy-to-understand financial advice and customized roadmaps for the road ahead, from tax reduction strategies, investment advice, and guaranteed retirement income you cannot outlive, backed by the claims-paying ability of insurance companies. We can be your single point of contact, a single call, a voice you recognize well, and a partner who can be by your side for the entire journey. We can't stop the world around us, but we can help ensure you're prepared for what's to come. To schedule a no-obligation meeting, simply contact us today.
Having no clear retirement plan is a mistake I see a lot in my financial planning office when I meet someone for the first time. It is extremely rare that someone comes in and has a clearly defined income plan for his or her retirement. One way you'll be able to get a clearly defined retirement income plan is to talk to an independent financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning. Not someone who specializes in getting you to retirement, but someone who is dedicated getting you through retirement. If you don't have a clear retirement plan, then be one of the first 5 callers and you'll receive a free complimentary planning review. There's no obligation and no cost if you have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. Here's what you'll receive: a free report to sort through your current advisor costs, a tailored plan to guard your investments, tax analysis to reduce your tax liability and increase your cash flow, and a customized income plan to boost your retirement. Plus, you'll receive a budget assessment to help you manage your cash flow. So call now for your free, no-obligation financial review.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
You know, Ryan, over the years, we've done a lot of things together, but our first real business venture was in elementary school, where we went down to the Cottonwood Spa and we bought atomic fireballs for 5 cents, and we turned around and sold them for 10 cents on the playground. We had to kind of do it undercover because we weren't technically supposed to be selling anything at Canyon View Elementary, but it was kind of fun, right?
It was. I mean, here was the market need. The market need was you had all these kids out at recess. They were hungry, wanted a little bit of sugar, and so we filled that need.
They didn't like the canned peas that they had just had from cafeteria lunch.
So we bought the atomic fireballs at the Cottonwood Spa for 5 cents.
There was no Costco at that time. There was no Sam's Club. That was the closest place we found.
There was no vending machine at the elementary school that they could go buy it. So we were the only source, right? And they could buy it for 10 cents. So it was 100% profit that we made on that. The only problem is that we would get mad a little bit because sales weren't going as well as we thought, and we just started eating the inventory. So when we started,
maybe you ate a few more than I did.
Well, maybe so. So here's what we look at: is what's the lesson in here? It's inflation. If we look at atomic fireballs, if we were back on the elementary school playground today, how much would an atomic fireball cost?
At least a quarter.
So if that's 5 times what we paid for them, right?
Yeah.
That's inflation. That's how it works. And in fact, the number is, at current inflation at 3.28%, every 20 years, whatever amount that you need, it's going to double. And it's the gallon of gas, it's the loaf of bread, it's the trip to on your favorite vacation spot. It just adds up over time.
Well, as a matter of fact, we just did a radio show on this very topic, and we used from 1985. Everybody remembers Back to the Future, that great movie.
That's right.
McFly and Biff, and how much a gallon of gas cost. It was $1.62 back then in 1985.
Yep.
And so that's a perfect example where now, it's over 2, and in some cases it's been over 3.
Well, and I think the other area is, it's not just gas or a loaf of bread. It's all of these other items that just add up. And you know what I'm talking about. Your utilities go up a little bit here, and then your auto insurance goes up, your health insurance.
It never goes down, right?
Before you know it, it's double
Yeah.
from what you're spending. So the lesson here, and this is why part of the blueprint is, do you have a strategy when it comes to inflation? And many people, when they come in and visit with us, they have spreadsheets. The engineers always have the spreadsheets, right? And on those, it says there's a line that's completely blank, and the reason why is because they don't think about inflation. And we say, what about inflation? They're like, oh, well, I'll just kind of figure that out as you go along. You can't just figure it out.
I even had a CPA that just came in not too long ago, and he had forgotten about inflation. So it's one of those often overlooked pieces that's why we're here, to make sure that everybody does what's right.
You know, as the boss of your retirement, you literally are responsible to answer all the questions for your retirement plan, and you're in control. It's your money. We're here to help and guide you. On our radio show, we talk about this all of the time, old man inflation. If you're saying, I don't have a strategy for inflation, well, come on in and see us. We'll help you design one and help you get through retirement with confidence.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Life, a series of moments. A touch, a look, a laugh. Successful people. It might not be superior imagination. It just might be superior retirement planning. Imagine what's next. Plan today, own tomorrow.
Call Boss Retirement Solutions, 801-610-1234.
From my experience, many retirees keep too much of their assets in the stock market after they retire. A well-diversified retirement portfolio should have assets in each of 3 different stages. The youth stage, putting money in savings. The adult stage, putting a portion into investments. And when you reach the mature stage, you should transition from growing and risking and protecting and guaranteeing yourself for income. If you aren't sure about your risk, call or go to askbossretirement.com to get a custom designed, easy to understand financial review. There's no obligation and no cost if you have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. Here's what you'll get: a free report to sort through your current advisor costs, a tailored strategy to help guard against your assets, a tax analysis to potentially reduce your tax liability and increase your cash flow, as well as a custom income plan, plus a budget analysis. Call now or go to askbossretirement.com.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
You know, we wanted to change things up a little bit in this segment. We wanted to talk a little bit about why we write books, why we're authors. This is our 4th book that we're really excited about today. We want to share some stories behind Ryan and I and how we work together and why we work together. So sit back. I think this is going to be a little bit of a fun conversation between the two of us. And Ryan, with that, you know, we've worked together for a really long time, really ever since elementary school. When we
Atomic fireballs.
Selling atomic fireballs.
Buy them for $5, sell them for $10.
Get mad and eat the inventory, right?
That's right. And we ate a lot of inventory.
Those were some pretty fun days. And then we went to Mountain Sprayers, and we worked our way through college together, really focused on a business, helping a lot of people. And that's what that focus has always been for us, right? Is really making sure that we were helping as many people as possible. And I want for us to think back for just a second about that boardroom conversation that we had many years ago about helping a lot of people.
You know, it really started in a boardroom in 2001. And here at the time we were in the mortgage banking industry.
Yep.
And you looked at the statistics, and the statistics were staggering. And here's what you had. Between credit cards, auto loans, and mortgage payments, between 30 and 40% of a gross check was going towards debt.
And what we were seeing all the time was that people were getting further and further and further into debt, right?
And so we looked at it and said, instead of trying to fix the problem at the end, why not try to help people prevent the problem? And that was our first book that we wrote. It was called Banker's Table, and it was Control the Banker's Table and Reclaim Your Wealth.
That's right.
And the whole design for that was, how do you eliminate the bank out of your life so that the credit cards, the mortgages, and the auto loans are not working against you, they're working for you. And we looked at the problem and said, if the average American has $60,000 in savings, that is not happily ever after.
It's not.
That is not what you designed retirement to look
And
like.
we've seen it too many times, right? As we're doing that loan application,
Yep.
and just kind of shaking your head saying, these people aren't going to make it. And that's what we felt passionate about, is making sure that we really help change millions of lives for the better, not only then, but into the future.
So we're sitting in this boardroom, and while we're sitting in the boardroom, the question that just kept going over and over in our mind is, number one, how do we make sure this doesn't happen to us?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So that when we get to retirement, that we have a plan, we have a strategy, and that was the goal. That was the defining moment. As things started rolling out, we started looking at all these different areas. It led to one book, and then a second book, and then a third book. And now this one, Your Secure and Independent Retirement, is our fourth book that we have out. And the design is to be able to help you understand what matters most when it comes to your retirement. Because if you are concerned about retirement, if you're concerned about running out of money, how to take Social Security, how to make sure that you have a growth strategy so that you can pass on all that you've worked so hard for
Absolutely.
during your life, this is the book that you want to read. I mean, think about that. Your Secure and Independent Retirement.
That's what I was just
that
going to bring
what
up.
everyone wants?
You know, everybody wants that security. Everybody wants to feel independent. They don't want to have to move back in with their kids and live in their basement. They want to make sure that throughout their life, throughout their retirement years, that they can live securely, know that they're going to have enough, and at the same time be completely independent until they pass.
Well, here's the good thing, right? All things get better with age, right? We believe that for all of you out there, the best is yet to come. And that's why we're so passionate about delivering this message to you, is because we want to help you understand that your time, knowledge, expertise, and experience that you've built over the last 30 or 40 years, use that knowledge. And instead of living retirement in fear, be able to build your secure and independent retirement. That's why we exist at Boss Retirement Solutions. And that's the whole focus of the book, right, Tyson?
That's exactly right. In fact, if any of you are interested in getting our latest book, would love to get this in your hands. For the first 10 callers today, or for those who hit our website, feel free to let us know that you want the book. We'll autograph it for you. We'll send it out to you so you can make sure that you have your own secure and independent retirement.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
It's your retirement. How will you live it? How will you be remembered?
Will you be able to take me on vacation?
Will you be there for my ball games?
Will you teach me your values? You'll be able to play with me.
Oh, help me go to college. How will I remember you?
Have the retirement you dream about. Ask BossRetirement.com.
Many surveys show that only a small percentage of retirees and pre-retirees feel financially confident about retirement. This is a great time to be calling us to meet face-to-face for your no-cost Boss Retirement Blueprint. Let me tell you what this involves, and there's absolutely no obligation, and you'll be able to sit down with me or someone on my team, and we'll guide you through your complete retirement review. We'll look to see if you can reduce what you might be paying in taxes. We'll stress test your portfolio. We'll run your mutual funds, stocks, bonds, and even your variable annuity through a stress test that shows where you might be at risk if the economy turns down or if certain events were to happen. We'll do a fee analysis for you that shows how much you're paying in fees, and if that's important to you, we'll be able to minimize those as much as possible. It's all part of our simplified Boss Retirement Blueprint. It's just fantastic, and people love it because it simplifies things. It's not huge or hard to understand 150-page financial plan. It's nice, simple, and one page that shows you where you are, what you ought to be aware of, and we'll run this retirement income analysis to see if you and your spouse are at risk of running out of money in retirement. So call right now to get your free, no-obligation financial review.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Ryan and I have worked together for a long time. Even as early as elementary school, would buy candy and sell it on the playground.
We did. Atomic Fireballs, buy them for 5, sell them for 10. Get mad and eat your inventory.
Sometimes when we were eating Atomic Fireballs, because they were so spicy, so hot, that when we had too many of those, that created a little problem. But other than that, it was kind of fun.
Growing up with 7 kids, you learn really fast that everyone needs to work together. When you work together, great things can happen. We definitely learned that work ethic growing up, and that's something that we still have with us today.
Two guests, brothers Ryan and Tyson Thacker. You are with Boss Retirement Solutions, a retirement advisement company.
What it comes down to is You've got to take care of your needs first.
As you get closer to retirement, within 5 years, you really need to pare back the risk that you're taking.
Our approach is very simple. When you meet with us, the first thing that we want to do is we want to understand your story. We want to understand your hopes, your fears, your dreams, and what you want to accomplish.
We focus on creating a retirement income plan, the ability to help people to outlast inflation, and then to be able to help them leave a legacy to their children and grandchildren. Retirement is longer than it's ever been before. And so as we look at a client's plan and we really help them to focus on where they are and where they want to be, we have to begin with that. We have to begin with the end in mind.
Many of our clients, they're self-made. They didn't come from families of great wealth. They're just your everyday, hardworking American.
We are Boss Retirement Solutions. This is Angie.
Recently, I just sat down with a client and we were looking at his Social Security statement. 47 years worth of earnings, went back to 1968. As he talked about the different years of income, he told me about, hey, this is when the recession happened in 1980. He worked in the construction industry and it was devastating to him. And the income actually went down. He talked about successes. And in that story, what I realized is he was looking at me across the desk and he says, Ryan, this is all I have. What we find is that story is the same for every single client that we meet with. There's a story in, whether it's 30 years, 40 years, or 50 years worth of earnings, that there's ups and downs, and there's successes, and there's joy.
This is not a cookie cutter approach. Everybody has had a different life experience, everybody's had a different work experience, everybody has a different family, everybody has different passions.
The biggest question is, what are we going to put it in?
Yeah.
Right? What are we going to invest in? What are we going to earn? The other question is, how long are we going to live? You know, these are factors. It's not.
At our firm, we work with other advisors that help with the estate planning process, that help with wealth management throughout from a tax perspective. Those are all things that we touch on as we work with a client throughout their entire life.
Our goal is to really maximize the dollars that you put aside, to minimize the dollars that go back to the government at that point in your life. It's better to be paying taxes than not, because that means you are making money, but our goal is still to minimize them as much as we can.
You're the boss of your retirement, so we listen to the needs of people and help them to determine and co-create plans that will help them to accomplish their retirement goals. They're the boss of their retirement, we just help them to get from point A to point B.
We're grateful that we have a chance to work with so many wonderful people here, and we'd love the opportunity to work with you as well.
At Boss